Good morning and welcome back to Cityline. With me, I have two people that I think I want them on. No, I don't think, I know. I want them on I'm on a desert island list of people who I want to hang out with. These two, you would want on the desert island with you. Please join me in welcoming back Mr. Chris Surface. You are the managing artistic director of our beloved Tacoma Little Theatre. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you got some socks on we need to show.
I would not, if I didn't wear socks for you, what kind of a person would I be?
You would not grace our doorway without socks. All right, let's see it.
Okay, these are kitty cats in space today.
Kitty cats in space. And
Yep.
somehow that ties into the play that goes wrong, but we'll figure that out in a second. Because we need to talk also with Ms. Jen York. You are the director of the play that goes wrong for Tacoma Little Theatre. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Usually we get to have that person that you live with, Mr. Blake, here, but I'm thinking we need to have you more often. This would be a good thing. So we're just coming off of summer camp, and tell us, how did it go? Summer camp gives you endless cocktail stories. So you're all stocked up and ready to go to talk about those amazing children.
It was fantastic. Stephanie Crochelle, our education director, put together a fantastic program with our director, Nick Fitzgerald, and Jeff Bell and Deborah Leach, our musical directors, and a great staff of interns who made these students' lives wonderful for the summer. We did Schoolhouse Rock Junior Live and The Addams Family, Young at Part, so a shortened version of The Addams Family. With great success. We were at Grant Center for the Expressive Arts this year, and just a wonderful time. And we can't wait to start fall classes.
Oh, I bet.
In September.
And I bet that those children, those youth are already signed up for it. So parents, don't wait too long, because you got a whole summer of kids coming behind you. What kind of plays do we have coming up this season, Mr. Chris?
We have a great season that starts Friday, September 8th. We have 7 shows that are all new to our stage. They've never been done in the 105 years of Tacoma Little Theatre. These shows have never been done. And we open with a great show that started on the West End and then came to Broadway and is still playing on Broadway. And it's called The Play That Goes Wrong, which we'll talk more about in a second. And that is correct. The poster is not wrong. Everything goes wrong in the show, including the poster.
Yeah, I'm looking at this going, okay.
In October, we have Misery, which I'm directing. We've just cast it. It's Dylan Twiner, Dea Osborne, and Andrew Fryer playing the 3 characters in the adaptation of the Stephen King novel. It's horrifyingly fun and creepy.
Well, you do that very well.
We like a little darkness every once in a while. Yeah. For the holidays, we bring you Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is a new adaptation of the classic Rankin and Bass animated TV special brought to life on stage. So you will have lots of fun. Bring the whole family, and tickets are going fast. There may or may not be a sing-along at the end.
Ooh, there we go.
Doll's House Part 2 starts us off in January of 2024.
Part 2?
Part 2, written in the late and early 2010s. Played on Broadway with Laurie Metcalf in the role of Nora, and it picks up 15 years after Nora walked out the front door. She walks back in the front door.
As only Marilyn Bennett can do it.
She's going to be fabulous with it.
Amazing.
We partner again with the University of Washington Tacoma with Rent starting March 8th. It's going to be a rocking good time, so we hope we'll see you for that. Then after that, we have a great sweet show called Almost Maine, which is all about love. And Dr. Rick Horner is directing that one, and you'll just walk away feeling warm and fuzzy inside.
I love
and it all takes place under the Northern Lights. And then we close out the season with a piece called From the Mississippi Delta by Dr. Holland, and adapted from her novel. And it is a fascinating tale of a woman growing up in the South in the Jim Crow era. And so get ready for a powerful story to happen on stage.
We love that. Thank you. So Jen, you've been sitting there kind of listening to all this. And now is the time, as Chris said, for us to talk about the play that goes wrong. What is this about? And also tell us about some things that have gone wrong.
Well, The Play That Goes Wrong, as the title indicates, is a play where things go wrong. Kind of, if you know plays, think Noises Off on steroids.
I was just thinking, is this like Noises Off, where we get to see the back of it and everything goes wrong?
Just
I love it.
Amp it up by about 100, and then you'll be close to the things that are going to happen to our actors on the stage.
It's honestly anything you can think of that could go wrong on stage goes wrong.
From the small to the big, and watching the actors in character manage those things and try to keep the show going.
Oh, that last phrase, try to keep the show going, which tells me that you had some things that happened on stage that they probably didn't know about when they auditioned.
That's true.
Because that's how you get a genuine reaction. So, Jen, first off, what were the auditions like? And then, Chris, I want you to come back around and talk about that as well.
Yeah, the auditions were really fun for this show. A lot of people will go into it thinking that you want like improvise, actors who can do improv really well.
Yes, and?
But you actually don't. You want actors who can be very consistent and always give the same performance, because you need them to be where they're supposed to be, when they need to be there, or something bad might actually happen to them. So you need very consistent actors. So for the auditions, we were very clear about all the things that they needed to experience when they were on the set. And so we did some kind of fun things to keep them on their toes. I threw things at them. I had other participants do things in the audience that would distract them. I gave little Post-it notes to the actors as they went on stage, and someone had to incorporate something unexpected into the show, and it was very, very fun. We had one where I informed one of the actors to just leave, and so one of the other people in that scene picked up playing both parts.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just, it was delightful.
I sat in the back and watched these auditions, and in all my years of doing theater, it was the most fun to watch these auditions happen.
I may or may not have had a Nerf gun.
Okay, now I had that visual. I'm like, did you have a water Nerf thing?
I had the one that shoots the foam balls.
Boom.
Yeah.
The other thing too is Jen brought in a fight choreographer for the auditions itself.
Nice.
So everybody learned how to fall and then showed could they fall safely.
Oh, very
and so from day one, this show's been all about making sure our actors are safe, and that because everything goes wrong, you want it to safely go wrong.
Right.
And the planned wrong.
The right thing should go wrong.
Exactly.
The right thing. So, Jen, is that what makes this show so crazy? Because you have to think manically out of both sides of your head at the same time?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It is planning all the things that are supposed to go wrong, but then, as you would in any production, trying to account for the things that might not go wrong in the correct way, or additional things that could actually go wrong that you weren't planning for. So it's all about keeping everyone on their toes and having a very well-rounded tech crew behind the scenes of the walls that may or may not be standing at the end of the show.
And is this a play within a play?
It is a play within a play.
Okay, so they're working towards something.
Yes, it centers around...
Not just trying to get out of bed and go to work, which
Yes.
can be something that goes wrong.
Yes, exactly. So it centers around a group of actors who historically have never quite had the budget or the experience or the right number of actors to put on shows. And so for this show, they're very excited and determined to put on a serious murder mystery called The Murder at Havisham Manor. And they're very excited because someone has donated money to give them the perfect set, and they have the right number of actors. And so they are taking this very seriously, regardless of what happens on stage. They will continue and the show will go on.
Okay, so how do you handle all the tech on this show?
You marry the technical director.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. You
You
marry
got
the
your
technical
MRS
director.
degree.
Yes, and then you talk about it constantly for a year, where you are just sitting there watching TV or something, and someone goes, "So when that thing happens, we're gonna do this," and you just start talking about it incessantly for a very long time.
Hence, married to another
Exactly. So then you
actor.
just have someone always there to have that conversation with.
I love that.
If-
That is incredible.
If we didn't have Blake as our technical director, this show would not have been able to happen. If we didn't have Jen directing this show, I don't think it would have happened either. It's a great team of true synergy that the two of them have, particularly on a show like this.
And
Jen
Chris,
does
you got
comedy
2
so
for
well.
1.
I got
Yeah, because, I mean, look at this. They're having conversations over Rice Krispies. And so you don't have to worry about talking about living the part because they're doing it. Absolutely. Chris, let's talk about, we talked about how classes went this summer. What's coming up that parents need to keep an eye out for in those emails?
Start registering now. Some classes are already full.
Wow.
We have, I know it's crazy
It's
right
wonderful.
now. We've actually, I'm going to say one thing too before we go on. The play that goes wrong was selling so well that we've already added another week. We've extended a week already
Okay.
because things are going crazy. People want to come see theater and do theater again,
They
which is
do.
great.
And laugh.
And laugh.
Yes.
Education, we have our homeschool classes, our after-school classes, Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. We have improv for both youth and adults, and we're going to have those, one of the adult classes now on a Saturday afternoon because we know evenings are tough for parents.
Yep.
We're going to put one on a Saturday afternoon. Drop
Yes.
the kids off somewhere fun. You come and do a class of improv with our great teachers, Sal and Bjorn. We have our winter break camp coming up, which is going to be, oddly enough, the main stage is doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The kids stage is going to do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Jr.
There we
And
go.
it's going to be a lot of fun. So great classes coming up. We have a dance class as well. So
I
keep an eye on our website for that, and it's a piece of cake to sign up.
Okay, so amidst all of this, you have managed to go on a cruise, come back, have an amazing season, have a show that's going to set records on the main stage. Who do you need to thank? Miss Jen, I'll go to you first.
I think,
Maybe that guy you're married to.
yeah, because without him doing the show, we would not feel confident that our actors would actually remain unharmed during this process. And I mean, it's a big show to take on. So just the fact that Chris wanted to do that,
Yeah.
I think is a big undertaking. And so the crew and the actors for this show deserve all
Top
the
drawer.
thanks. Yeah.
Chris, what would you add to that?
The volunteers, I always say thank you to our staff
Oh, yes.
who put in tireless hours to make sure everything comes together and happens. Our board of directors, and then the community that still comes 105 years later. They're still coming to Tacoma Little Theatre and supporting us and making sure that we are here presenting live theater in our community.
Absolutely, and we would be remiss not to talk about that there was a awful fire across from TLT, and I want to make it known that you and your team were on that roof of TLT, hosing down your roof, hoping it's not going to jump the street. It
Yeah.
did not, but boy, you guys just, you catch it in all ways, don't you?
We love what we do. We love our institution of the building.
Yes.
And we're just happy that we're thankful that we know that 2 firemen were injured in the fire, which was awful. They're fine.
Okay.
But just the fact that there's nobody in those buildings
Exactly.
currently, which was a great thing.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here today, and I can't wait to get some tickets for that extra week that's been added, and I'll see you sooner than later.
Wonderful.
All right? Thank you. When we come back, Tacoma Concert Band will be in the house. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.